Warnie, Vale Shane Warne. So sad, mate. We didn't believe the news. We thought it was fake. You're a legend, mate. You're a legend. Every Australian loves you, and millions around the world, mate. Cheers to you, mate. You're an inspiration. R.I.P. Well, it's a bit blowy out here with all this inclement rain we've had in the last 2 weeks. Look at the watercolour. It's sable. It's not carriage brown yet, but it's definitely sable. Sable. So let's get stuck into it, shall we? Let that drain for a bit. Let that drain. I don't believe these are going to be easy to crack. Yeah, that one came. That one's coming too, so put those off. That's handy. Now, I'm going to pull this master cylinder apart, and hopefully it's not too far gone. I do have another seal kit to put in it, so we'll at least be able to do that. Finish this off. Move these big boys. Oh, that's tight. Tight. Yeah. Look, doesn't look good. Get that on the bench. Yeah, pretty rusty around there. And just now we'll pull that cylinder out and see what we've got. Yeah, I might put some glovies on, I think. The hard bit's going to be trying to break these two Phillips head screws. See how we go. I've just cleaned them up a bit, see if we can get the impact wrench on them. Might be a bit quicker without damaging them. I've owned this little impact tool for nearly 30 years. It comes in handy occasionally, except I just lost her. Sometimes you've got to buy new bits for occasionally for them. In fact, I have done a couple of times. Get that in there. Get the old persuasion tool happening. See how we go. Get in there. One out. I have to turn that round on enough room. too loose. Works every time. Good for motorcycle casings to get them off so you don't damage those big Phillips head screws. Good as new. Don't lose the washer. Crack that. She's pretty bad. Yeah, she's pretty bad. Trick. Back in the vise. Another little trick I have is how do you get this socket, reverse sockety hexy bolt out of there with a pressure release valve in there. And I went to my plumbing gear and used this little socket, plumbing socket that fits nicely in there. But this one is so tight, and whether or not we'll have enough, I tried just turning it with a screwdriver, but it's not moving. So I put a socket on the other end, and we're just maybe try and hit it with this impact driver again. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked. We need get a proper. I don't think it worked. No, didn't work. Try one more time. Did it work? Did it move? No, she's tight near that one. I don't want to damage that in there because I'll never get it out. Fortunately, this is more mild or steel, so I'm damaging it. We'll just spray some more penetrating oil. Okay, last throw of the dice. I'll get the big guns out. See. Oh, straight away. Oh, that's a plus. Well, don't have to get that out of there. Work on that. Looks okay. Now we can get that piston out. Not too bad. Spring. Well, it's got a lot of crap in it. The spring's not rusted away. Normally you'll find them that'll be in pieces if it's been sitting there too long. Rubber's always pretty soft as well, really. Get to the back section. I can't get that back piston out. We might have to blow a bit of compressed air in that, see if we can push it out with that. Give it a big brake cleaner. Sit in that for a bit. A bit of compressed air, and that secondary piston came out really quite easy, and it's pretty in tidy condition too. It's not too much rust. I'll just clean it up a bit with a bit more brake fluid. And the bore, can we see down there? Probably not. It's pretty clean. can't remove that old 3/8 clamp, so I'm just going to cut it off with a hacksaw. That's it, done. So I found my new rubber seal kit for it. So we'll just put these new rubber seals on the pistons and we'll put it back together, shall we? Okay, all clean and back together. Let's see if we can pump some juice into it. Just run a bit of fresh fluid through those lines. Might just give that a bit of a clean out first again. A bit of grit in there. I'll wash it through. I don't have any brake hose line, so I'll have to use the old stuff. But it's not leaking, so temporary it'll do the job with some fresh clampulators. So it's a bit shabby. I'll just wipe that down a bit. The black's coming off the thing. That's only probably got the brake foots doing it, but they're not leaking, so it'll get us out of problems. And there's just still enough hose on that to get them on there. Get on there, old mate. Beautiful. You get on there a bit more too. Tighten them up. Yuck. Those unions are still loose, so let me know when you can see some fluid coming out of those while I pump. Pump, pump, pump. Nothing yet. Might have to. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, one more squeeze on that. Tighten that all up. Just a little bleed up the top here. Okay, I've tightened that one up. That one's still loose. See if we can get some fluid out of that one. Ah, yes, there we go. Won't be a perfect bleed because there's no one there to hold the pedal down for me. Where's your spanner? Clean up all that mess. Okay, that's tightened up. And I found in the boot another top that's got a relatively okay looking sensor on it for the brake warning light. Well, it's still not bleeding that good, so I'm going to use my little helper here and hold the pedal down while I just squeeze a little bit more fluid through that master cylinder. Hopefully that might be a bit better. Well, I did some more pumping of this master cylinder off camera just to see if I can get those brakes working. Pretty good, but they've still got a lot of air in them somewhere. The if you keep your foot on the pedal, it'll eventually go flat to the floor. But it pumps up a bit, so it's enough to get me still in and out of the garage. But at least we know, hopefully that thing's working okay. We can attack the rest of the system. Listen to that rain. It just doesn't stop raining. Here's an interesting point, just going through all this stuff in the boot. These reverse lights, they have the reflectors on them. Now, only the very early XJ6s came out with those reflector lights on the reverse lens, and the later models had them down here. battery went flat. Just in time. These are the V12 ones too. These are larger. I quite like these. I might knock these off and put them on another car. They'll have to be still cut off a bit shorter. A lot shorter. They need to be about there. At least I'm not going to kick my shins on them for a while. Well, it's still raining cats and kittens out there. God, I've never seen so much rain happen. There's rain every day. But we discovered another thing last night. I had old mate over just for come to visit, good mate Kyle, and I was showing him this old girl, and he said, "What are you going to do with the roof?" I said, "Oh, I've got this vinyl that the old mate gave I was going to put on the top of it." So we pulled out the vinyl for the first time, and not realising it's already been cut and ready to glue on. How good's that? It's not a bad looking vinyl either. This is the same stuff I've got on Mr. White, and it's been on there since 2006 and it's still looking brand new. It's not the original style vinyl you would have had on these cars back in the 70s, especially in brown. But that's a bonus. I'm going to keep it. I'm definitely going to whack this vinyl roof on this car when we get it more sorted. But in the meantime, I'm just going to whiz off this wheel. The brakes are still a bit sticky. I'm going to see which wheels are jam tight. We might be able to just loosen them up a little bit. So bear with me while we do that. The car comes with this high-tech hooks that's been welded onto a socket. That's alright. It's doing the job. Better than using hand things. I can't stand having to unwind this stuff. Hand. Jack it up a bit more. Yep. Let's see what we got in here. Ooh, we got a wheel. The brakes. Yeah, look at that, they're tight. Really tight. There's plenty of pad in there. Just might have to try and at least loosen those up a little bit. Okay, might pull out the old mouldy grips. The big ones. Look at those. Found these. How good a find was these? Let's see there. Oh, God, they're tight. They're tight, very tight. Jam tight. Might have to pull those discs out, I think. Listen to that rain, man. Heavy duty, bro. Why did that come around there? Like that one. Right off. Oh, they're tight. Oh, fuck. Shit. You ever done that before? Made in China. Oh. Stand there, steady, bro. Just steady. Get out of my way. It's still not wanting to come. Come on. Get out of there. Gosh. God. They're not leaking. Well, they're not leaking. Okay. I'll leave that just loose in here for a bit. Get in here. Shut oil coming out, that's okay. Fluid coming out. They're brand new. No wearing those. They'll just put in here before this old girl got laid up. Just going to have a gentle press of the brake, see if we can just squeeze those pistons out a bit without making them pop. Hopefully we'll... No, they're pretty jammed tight. Look at that, they're not even moving. Let's look below. Oh, there they go. Oh, well, that one is. Let's squeeze that one back and see if we can get the other two on these 3 pots to go. Notice these are 3-pot brake calipers, 3 pistons. Series 2 had 3, Series 3 were 4 piston calipers. A lot of race cars swap these over for 4 pistons. I don't know if they're any better or not. Yeah, we'll squeeze that piston back and see if those others can get moving as well. I was trying to get out of not having to take those calipers off, but this thing is seized, man. It's super seized. Just having a look around all this front suspension componentry. It doesn't look too bad, really. Those upper control arm bushes, they're looking pretty tidy, and that front shocky looks like it was only just replaced 21 years ago, but hasn't been used much. Even the ball joints and the tie rod ends, they're looking okay, aren't they? So anyway, let's see. Let's have to pull this caliper off and we'll see what's inside it, loosen it all up. I don't know if I've got kits for these things. I used to have kits for them, but God knows where they are. Box of parts somewhere. Well, I managed to squeeze that other piston back. Let's see if we can just move these outer pistons. Yeah, they're moving, so that's pretty good. I can loosen them up a bit. Oh, one's moving. Alright, let's squeeze that one back. Okay, let's see if we can get that bottom one to move a bit. Yeah, I think so. Rubber. Dusty van. Okay, shame that dust seal's gone on that one. That's a blow, and look at that. Yeah, look at that. These have to come out. See, that piston's rusty. What a shame. What could I expect though? Just wishful thinking. But I wouldn't have had to do too much on these. Okay, I'm just going to put that back together. Put those pins in and pretend we didn't see that. We'll work on it later. Okay, wheels back on. We're just going to leave that for a little while. But yesterday I did some work off camera. What have we done? This is all temporary, remember, because this is all going to come off again when we decide to get it painted. So they're only on there temporary, just so we can get this thing roadworthy. Put the tail lights in. I cut off the exhausts. I put those little chromey tips in that I just had floating around. I mean, they don't look too bad really, the little Chinese things. I don't know why I even had them. I put the seals back on, and we'll paint those as soon as I get some more paint. Now the paint didn't really match up, but again, would have only been a bonus if it did. But it's all one colour. At least it's going to be all yellow when we finish it. I only bought 2 cans. Yep, only bought 2 cans, me on the stingy side. That was mainly because if it wasn't the right colour, I didn't want to waste any more paint on it. But I've ordered another 2. I just think they might have just got the mix just slightly wrong, the tints. So we'll see what the new one comes out like. And we'll just paint the seals, paint that other guard, and just do a little few touches up. Then we'll give it a buff and polish. But in the meantime, I'm just going to just get this black back bumper on, and it'll look a lot better with that. And then we might tack the front and get the grille and everything ready. It's pretty bad out here. It's been raining a lot. I've never seen so much rain. It's just stopped for a few minutes, hopefully. Hello, Beastie. Anyone want to see my M5? We're going to do a little video on this M5. This is a rare car. It's an E65 2005 5 litre M5. Not many of these were made, and it's got an SMG gearbox in it. And this thing's been supercharged. It went down to BMW Southern Melbourne. It's got a supercharger on it, and it's pumping 850 horsepower. Not that I have it on the dyno yet, but that's what its specs are. And that's why she's called Beastie. And she is a fast motor car. Too fast for me, silly on the road. It's more of a racetrack car. It's got that Formula 1 V10 engine in it that you'll never get ever in the world again, because of all the environmental issues that we have, and everyone's going to electric. Yeah. Anyway, we'll back to the Jag in a minute. Well, that tow bar wasn't even bolted in at the bottom. Lucky, and then as I took those bolts off, it just dropped. Lucky I did that, because you wouldn't want to be towing something and that tow bar come off. Now we'll leave it off now. I'm not going to put it back on. That's pretty much it. We'll head back to Big Smoke tomorrow, get some more paint, get more yellow on this thing, see if I can match it better. I've got a little sample I was able to scrape off, and I'll see if we can get a paint shop to actually match that sample. So at least the colour looks right. I hate looking at it because it's just not right. At least it's protected, and we're getting there. We've got the back end finished up now. Back bumper bars on, get some paint on. I didn't get a chance to do the front grill and that. We'll do that, clean up that front bumper. Going to clean up those wheels a bit, see if they'll come up, and we'll catch you next week. And don't forget, please like this with thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe. It doesn't mean anything, it just means you're following me. You don't have to watch the videos, but the more subscribers I've got, the happier man I am. See you guys.